तू चलता चल, तू चलता चल, तू चलता चल.
Today we have with us Yogesh, who is twice recommended. First, during sixth attempt from Indian Coast Guard in March 2022, and now recently in his seventh attempt, SSC NCC entry from 31 SSB Kapurthala board. So we will ask him his journey. First, tell us what motivated you to join the defense services.
Yes, ma'am. Firstly, thank you so much, ma'am. So there is a small story behind my motivation. So, there was a Captain Pawan Kumar Khatkar, and who was a neighbor of my relatives, and who got martyred in 2016 in Pampore insurgency. And on that day, I was in front of his house, and his father was saying कि मेरा एक ही लड़का था और वो मैंने आर्मी को दे दिया. And अगर मेरे पास दूसरा होता तो still I give to the Indian Army. So it really hits me hard, and from the day it was very clear कि करना है तो यही करना है. Ma'am, I'm not romanticizing the things, but this is what it is. And later, yeah, and later on, as I inducted in the NCC, so somewhere I found a difference in my courage and motivation. So I felt like this is the profession जो मेरी personality को suit करता है. So in this way, I started my journey in this particular direction.
Okay. And how was your NCC experience? How did that help you, or perhaps what strengths in your during your college days and all?
Okay, ma'am. See, I studied from a government school, and I was never, come to a stage and where I can speak in front of the people. So NCC provide me the stage, and first time because of the NCC, I get the exposures. I improve my communication skills, improve my confidence. So this is the thing I learned from the NCC, ma'am.
Okay. And before that, you were screened out as well as conference out. So tell us what transpired and how did your journey take place, and what changes did you make from your previous attempts?
Yeah. So in the very first attempt, it was in 2018. So I didn't know much about the SSB. Just I went there, and luckily I got screened in. Even I don't know why I get screened in there. So I didn't perform there, and definitely I got conference out from the there. But one thing I learned from there कि यार जो candidate recommend हुए हैं, they are just like me. So from there I get some inspiration कि यार this is the place where I want to be. Even before that, sir, ma'am, my motivation to join the armed forces as a soldier, and I was preparing for the same. But from there I get motivation कि बनना है तो officer बनना है. And later on, as I completed my graduation, so in the four attempt, the single thing behind my rejection is I feel my communication skills, and somewhere in one or two attempt, I also made some irrelevant story. So this could be the possible reason. And in the my sixth attempt, I got screened in the Coast Guard. So somewhere what I did different from other attempts, that was my narration or writing skills or these things. So I implement कि यार मेरे को मतलब irrelevant story नहीं लिखना. So I have to write a story that is, this is the particular thing I believe it is the most important. Some will say कि यार narration, some will OIR and GD, but in my perspective, writing quality matters a lot. So the same thing I did in the Coast Guard and NCC, and I got screened in both the attempts and also got recommended.
Okay. Okay. And did you practice that weekly, or did sir tell you about how did you improve on your communication skills gradually? Of course, that will happen gradually.
Starting, ma'am, I attended some sessions. So थोड़ा मुश्किल था, पर later on, as I indulged this in particular process. So after 2 to 3 months, I started visualizing some change in my spoken skills. So what I did just reading the newspaper. it not only improve my communication skills, it somewhere changed my ideology. And what I personally feel now, if you read newspaper just only 3 months, you will be a entire different personality after 3 months. So, and I also did some mirror practice in front of, I didn't talk to my friends कि अंग्रेजी में बात करते हैं. ऐसा I didn't that. I just only, बस अपनी आवाज तेज करके मिरर के सामने प्रैक्टिस की है.
Okay, okay. That's
एंड
good.
ऑल्सो आई अटेंडेड मैम वो जो इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन सेशंस थे जो आपने कंडक्ट कराए थे, आई ऑल्सो अटेंडेड दो सेशंस.
I remember your name. You joining the
यस मैम.
sessions, your the sessions. Okay, good. Now, next coming to the screening part. Tell us the day one screening, the reporting, and your story, your narration. In general, you can describe your both attempts.
Okay.
We cannot bifurcate it that way. Tell us about only of Indian Coast Guard and then of NCC entry. In general, you can whatever that you can recollect from your SSBs and from both the recommendations, you can share your experience.
Okay, to be very honest, I felt कि मैंने last वाले attempt में अच्छा किया, but in both attempts I did a lot of blunders. Still, I get screened in. Like in the NCC, there was a picture. Like firstly, reporting was nearly 240, and in the NCC, so we were shown a picture in which somebody was in a running position, and I made a story on that. And after writing the story, what people usually do कि they started discussing their story कि यार मैंने तो ये लिखा है. And I was there. I heard from other candidates. They made a story on like catching the terrorist, making rescue operation, and I made a story college running competition. So I was feeling कि यार again तूने मतलब irrelevant story बना दी. अब की बार फिर डेट कि मैंने विजुअलाइज किया, अब की बार भी नहीं होने वाला. एंड बट आई फील कि अब जो लिखा है आई कांट चेंज. एंड आई वेंट टू द that particular room. So the assessors that were sitting in front of us, they started give the instructions. So one thing I admit here, I again didn't pay the attention to them, and I feel this is the my major mistake there. They told us ki firstly the first group, total 18 candidates were in my group. Firstly 9 will participate, and again 9 will participate. So I was in the second group. As the everybody completed their narration, so by mistake I participated in the first group. And जो side में candidate बैठा था, he told me यार you are in our group, don't participate in the first group. Then I thought कि यार अब तो नहीं होने वाला. So and everybody have perceived only 2 character in the complete batch except me. I perceived 4 characters, and even the same thing was, told by assessor कि everybody has perceived 2 characters except 1 candidate, and all of you are on the right line. So again, I thought there are 0 chances. So, but somehow I narrated my.
Will be in everybody's mind. How did of course perception do differ, and at that point of time, how many heads we see, we do not know. So tell us something regarding you seeing 4 people and others seeing 1 person. How did that happen?
Okay, but actually later I realized it was only 2. It was somewhere my mistake, because we get screened in and I asked other candidates, so it was really 2. But I perceived like somebody was in a running position and the picture was very hazy. तो मेरे को लगा कि वो एकदम लाइन में भाग रहे हैं, तो इट मे बी या सो. But later on, what I did, I narrated my story very confidently. And in the GD, like firstly, I participated in the second group by mistake. But when it comes to my personal, group, I was not able to give a single point at all, because like I was in the middle and I was not able to see the candidates who was sitting, between. I was only able to see the last candidate that is in front of me. So I was trying to speak but मैं बोल ही नहीं पाया and I was struggling, but again I thought कि चलो बैठ ही जाते हैं, सुन लेते हैं जो बोल रहे हैं. So again, but one thing कि after the result declared, I was the single one who got screened in from my group, irrespective of my participation in a group. So maybe the thing I learned from there कि if everybody was shouting, just try. एक बार अपनी आवाज अगर loud करते हो तो ठीक है, that is okay. If still you are not able to give the points in the GD, don't worry. Assessors are sitting in front of you. Those guys who are shouting, they will pay the fine for it. So after that, the result will declared, and only 24 of us get screened in, and I was on the 24. So I was waiting in the there, and sir starting ki who is the test number 30, and mine was 30, and I know कि मेरा होने वाला नहीं है, and we were talking with our friends. So assessor was shouting who is chest number 30. So फिर मेरे दोस्त ने बताया कि तेरा आ गया है. तो so फिर ultimately I got screened in, and I was very happy because this is the particular thing I feel toughest in the SSB. After that, I was damn sure ki I can make it. So
Okay. Good that you participated, you were confident. But yes, nervousness just hit us, especially during result time. अब नहीं होने वाला, इस बार नहीं होने वाला.
yes, ma'am.
Good that you overcome that feeling. Please tell us something regarding psychology.
Okay, ma'am. To be very honest, I didn't practice about psychology, as Nehru sir always told us, like, yeah, whatever come in your mind, just pen down on the paper. And I did the same thing. But out of 12 stories, one thing was very consistent. That was my perception. I took time. I waited for 30 seconds. Even sometime I waited for 1 minute. कि यार मेरे को relevant story बनानी है. Maybe I was not able to complete it, but जितना भी लिखूंगा relevant to the picture. So that was my strategy in the TAT, and I wrote all the story that is related to my experiences. So one thing I would suggest to everyone, if you want to just practice, so don't practice 100 200 stories. What you can do, like, take the help of the Google. For example, organizing an event, just habitual to the ground reality कि एक इवेंट को कैसे ऑर्गेनाइज कर सकते हैं हम. सो टेक द हेल्प ऑफ द गूगल कि इन दिस वे वी कैन ऑर्गेनाइज एन इवेंट. सो वेदर इट इज ए फेयरवेल पार्टी और फंक्शन इन योर मोहल्ला और बड़ा खाना इन द फोर्स, you are able to organize it once you learned those things. So I also took some help from the Google in this journey. So I write down my all the stories in the vet. Again, even the psychologists, they are told us, yeah, whatever come in your mind, just write it. Even if you are not able to use that particular word, for the word will be shown brain, so it is not necessary कि you have to use it. He told us whatever come in your mind, just write it. So I again write all the sentences whatever came in mind in the SRT. So this part, I mean, everybody have to refer to their personal experiences, because this is very practical. If you write कि ये आ गया चलो ये लिख देते हैं, but you see the ground reality, there should be your answer should be in a practical and simple in a relevant manner. So I did the same thing. And in the SD, so I did all the things what I have done in my life, my parents thing, and what are my strengths and weaknesses. In the last paragraph, I wrote down all my weaknesses, and I was very honest. I didn't bluffing and or making excuse. Like, I was very clear. For example, I write down there कि I'm a very disorganized person when it comes to my room. Like my clothes, study table, always in a disorganized manner. मेरा पूरा रूम फैला रहता है एंड आई राइट द सेम थिंग देयर एंड अगेन I feel I left the things for the last moment, like for example, filling the forms of like for SSB. So I think last moment में छोड़ देता हूँ and I write down all the things there. I was very honest. So maybe this thing was psychologist was very जो जिनको पता उनको पता चला है कि हाँ यार जो है नेचुरल है एंड आई ऑलवेज हार्ड फ्रॉम द कैंडिडेट्स बी नेचुरल बी ऑनेस्ट सो आई वाज थिंकिंग कि यार ये क्या बोल रहे हैं इससे काम तो नहीं बनेगा बट वन थिंग ऑन द डे यू गेट रिकमेंडेड एवरीथिंग मेकिंग स्टार्ट सेंस सो मेरे को भी लगा कि हाँ यार ओल्ड इज गोल्ड यही है जो सब कुछ है
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Now, coming to your GTO aspects, please start with GD, GP, and then your PGT and all, one by one.
Okay, ma'am. In the GD, so there were definitely 3 leads, and the thing I did there, I was very stick with the one point. That point I have started कि मेरे को तो मैंने ये सिलेक्ट किया तो थ्रू आउट माई डिस्कशन आई ओनली स्पोक ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर लीड मे बी आई वॉज एबल टू गिव ओनली 2 points but that is okay. I didn't switch my lead and for my GD I followed some channels on the YouTube and with the span of only 2 months you will definitely able to speak well in the GD. I can assure you because the same case was with me. I was not able to give a single point at all. But after 2 months, I not only give point, but perform really well in the GD. And in the group planning exercise, so I will say कि यार whatever you write on the paper, it matters a lot. Maybe you are not able to perform well in the group. That is okay, but GTO will see your solution. So don't worry, sometime you will not able to participate in the group planning exercise, so that is okay. Just perform well in other tasks. So in the GP the thing I learned most important, whenever GTO start reading the group planning exercise, always remember 5 points कि starting में हम कहाँ थे and our main goal कि like we definitely solve all the problem but sometimes we forgot कि हमें जाना कहाँ था. So always remember these particular things and later कि what are the problems, what are the restrictions in the GP. Sometimes we use telephone and all but in the paper it was mentioned कि there was no telephone line. So it will come to your catching power कि यार इसने instruction सुनी नहीं ध्यान से. I told him कि don't use these things and he was using. So फिर उसका कुछ नहीं रहता अगर तुम मतलब I feel instructions played a very crucial role. अगर आप इनको ध्यान से नहीं सुनते हो तो maybe your game will be over. So I follow these things and I write a very relevant story. As Nehru sir always told कि यार अगर terrorist को पकड़ना है तो खुद गोली वोली लेके मत जाओ. Police is there for this particular task. They are trained very well. I did the exactly same thing. So in the PGT, HGT, FGT, so I will tell you, yaar, this is not about the fatta bali. No, everybody give the solution and at all. But if we see the bigger picture, it was all about group behavior. Sometimes there are 4 types of candidates there. एक जो solution दे रहे हैं. Second one is maybe they have not the solution, but they are in the high Joes. And third category, they will always fatta, balli, rassi. They always carry these particular things with them. And the fourth one, they either don't have Joes and वो सामान भी नहीं उठाते, वो ऐसे खड़े होके देखते हैं. So these are the 4 categories in the PGT, HGT, FGT. So try to come in the first or second category. If you have solution, then it is okay. If you don't have, just show your group behavior, help them. Don't stand there. And in the talking about the ideas, so maybe they are designed in a certain way. If you have basic level of aptitude or common sense, you can solve them. Don't use the heavy ideas that were taught in the coaching academies. I also take some coaching. So I learned from there कि यार अगर simple फट्टा रखा जा रहा है तो why are you using very complicated idea? This shows कि यार आपको दिख नहीं रहा सामने आपके simple idea and you are wasting the time of your group. So always use basic ideas, and I can assure you in the PGT there are 4 steps. At every step the basic ideas will repeat and repeat. You have to wait and visualize whole scenario. You will automatically get the idea. And some of the students will try कि यार मैं ये नोट बांध देता हूँ. They learned कि clove note, hangman note, but I'm telling you यार नोट बांधने के नंबर नहीं है वहाँ आइडिया नंबर आइडियाज के हैं. जो आप आइडियाज दोगे उसके बेसिस पे आपको मार्क्स मिलेंगे, ना कि आप जो वहाँ पे मतलब नोट बांध रहे हो जो सीख के आए हो. सो आई विल सजेस्ट कि बी सिंपल एंड बी practical in the PGT. You will definitely get ideas. So this is the thing I did my in PGT. And in the lecturate I spoke only in the Coast Guard I spoke only 1 minute, but this time I worked upon myself and I gave very uh, good lecturate. I break my lecturate into some points key. For example, taken a topic. So firstly, what it is and why is it important, what are the current status and what are the challenges. Then I gave solutions and then I gave way forward. If we systematically break our lecturate, so maybe one thing you will definitely realize ki you will not stuck anywhere during your lecturate. If somebody is facing this particular problem, then try to implement these ideas. I can assure you, you will be definitely able to complete your lecturate within time. And in the individual obstacle, so there I did 15. And but one thing I missed there, in the last 30 second I did a blunder. I forgot to utilize my last 30 second. GTO whistled and I thought ki my time was over and I seated there. And one thing also I did, I continuously break some rules in the GTO. So GTO was again telling me, yaar Yogesh, chess number 24, you are breaking the rules again and again. And he was ki note karta ja raha hai. And I was feeling ki yaar. So don't get nervous and don't think कि यार मेरा ये इस चीज से मैंने ये सीखा है कि एक टास्क अगर आपका खराब होता है, so don't worry, there is a whole GTO and the performance will be assessed, I believe, holistically. अगर आपने कहीं अच्छा किया है, कहीं डेफिनेटली आपसे हर चीज ऑन पॉइंट नहीं हो सकती. सो जितना ट्राई कर सकते हो, गिव योर बेस्ट एंड डोंट लूज योर होप एट एनी पॉइंट. क्योंकि sometimes you gave your interview really well and played a good role in the psychology, so maybe your GTO is not so good, so don't worry. So I did these things in this way, ma'am.
Okay. Of course, we won't one by one again listen, but yes, there were strikingly good points that you said, especially in your GTO task. It's not the types of notes that we know. It's about how well we put in the logic. That's what we try to here enable people to build their own logic during the task and all. Now, please tell us something regarding your fitness level, because you mentioned that an individual obstacles went very well. You told us something regarding your lecturate and GDs. You were reading newspapers, following some certain YouTube channels. Apart from that, for your fitness, what did you do?
Ma'am, for fitness, as I belong to a village, everybody was very keen to join armed forces, and the same case was happened with me. I was preparing for army release. So since starting, I was very physically fit and maintain my fitness throughout my academic career. And right now, एक बिल्कुल habitual हो रखा हूँ मैं running के लिए. So
but for those who are not from the rural background, not, I would say, not privileged enough to be in that, be around the defense aspirants like you. Perhaps they better be in their offices 9 to 5. For them, what will you advise?
Okay, ma'am, for physical fitness, there is no magic pill. You have to go to the ground and work hard. So you will not definitely get the results for 2 months. But again, you realize after 4 months, you are very physically fit. And after completing 3 to 4 months, it get, you will be very habitual. अगर आप ये चीज नहीं करोगे तो आपका पूरा दिन मतलब आपको सेटिस्फेक्शन नहीं आएगा. मेरे साथ क्या होता है, इफ आई डू नॉट डू रनिंग, तो मेरे को रात को नींद भी नहीं आती. सो वंस यू इंडल्ज योर सेल्फ इन दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग, सो यू विल बी वेरी हैप्पी कि यार हो रहा है. एंड अलोंग विद फिजिकल फिटनेस, आई एम टेलिंग यू यार, इफ यू डू दिस, अगर आपकी फिजिकल फिटनेस अच्छी है तो ऑटोमेटिकली यू विल डू वेल इन योर एकेडमिक्स एंड एवरीथिंग. Because sometimes we feel very low, feel very less energetic. So this is the thing that will play a very crucial role in your physical fitness. So as Nehru sir always told कि यार एक दिन से कुछ नहीं होगा. स्टार्टिंग में 100 मीटर भागोगे, फिर 1000 मीटर, फिर अल्टीमेटली यू विल अचीव द गोल ऑफ 5 किलोमीटर. सो अगेन ग्राउंड पे जाने से ही बात बनेगी मैम.
Now, coming to your interview part.
Okay, I feel this is the game changer part of your whole SSP, because interview is the bridge between your psychology and GTO. He knows, he talked to you for almost 40 to 45 minutes. He know really well कि आप किस टाइप के पर्सन हो. Whether you write your story full of actions, you perform very well in GTO, आपके पास आपने फट्टाबल्ली के साथ you perform really well. But at the end of the day, what really matters, जो आप उनसे बात करते हो उनको पता है. Every time we see कि यार हमारे ग्रुप में तो इसने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया था and he got recommended. And sometimes यार इसने तो बहुत अच्छा किया था, still he got not recommended. The reason is very simple, those 40 minutes. So I feel interview is the connection between you and your interview. If you are able to make it, then you will definitely make it through the SSB. So the question rises, how we can build up the connection between you and your interview. There will be 5 to 6 questions in your interview. If you give your answer very honestly, so there are higher chances कि you will make it. Like for example, everybody will face the same thing. I also have the same case. Like I performed really well in my 12th class, and when it comes to college, there is a drop of 30%. And I was also sitting at home for since 2 years. And so again, my IO asked me, यार योगेश आपने तो कॉलेज में कुछ नहीं किया. And at that point, if I tell him कि sir, I was participating in NCC, I was participating in sports, so it means यार there are a lot of candidates. He was taking interview जो sports में भी अच्छा करते हैं, academy में भी अच्छा करते हैं. So why he will take me? So the single thing we can say कि accept our mistakes. And the same thing I did. I accept कि sir ये गलतियां हुई है मेरे से, and I learned from them. And now I feel I am an organized person and I am improving myself. So try to accept the things जो आपसे गलतियां हुई है. उसके भी लड़के लड़कियां होंगे SSS के, and he already take 400 to 500 interviews in a whole year. He know the youth is facing these particular problems. So don't worry if you have done any wrong things. So try to accept it. And next one is like strength and weaknesses.
I would like to halt and stress on this. People try to cover up or
Yes, ma'am.
try to project something else. It's better to accept, as Nehru sir also said, even if there is gap in your after 12th standard or something, you accept that either you were less competent or less sincere, and just move ahead. And now I have learned from my mistakes. Yes, that's very good point. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, मैम. और मैम देयर इज अ फेमस सेइंग कि अगर इंटरव्यूअर चाहेगा ना कि आप सेलेक्ट हो, वो आपसे आपके मामा का नाम पूछेगा. अगर वो चाहेगा ना कि आप सेलेक्ट ना हो, वो आपसे खुद के मामा का नाम पूछेगा. इफ यू ट्राई टू मेकिंग ब्लफ एक्सक्यूजेस, देन ही हैव अदर ट्रिक्स. at the last of the interview he will catch you कि यार ये लड़का हर point पे blame और excuse कर रहा है. So again, in the strength and weaknesses, we usually told to avoid the answer ki sir for weaknesses. In the weaknesses, we usually say कि यार मेरी communication skills अच्छी नहीं है. I'm not able to participate in GDs और मेरी GK इतनी अच्छी नहीं है. Actually, he is not asking these things. He is asking the weaknesses of your personality. So you should be very honest in this particular aspect. You have to told him no in a very straight manner कि sir ऐसे ऐसे बात है, and definitely I can assure you he will definitely understand the same thing. And what thing matters here, he definitely judge you from the past, but the whole performance is based on your present कि अब आप कैसे कर रहे हो. So and next one is like why do you want to join Indian Army. uh, Try to give very relevant or real reason. Don't say कि सर मेरे को एडवेंचर फील करना है, मेरे को ये करना है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि दिस रीजन इज वेरी रॉन्ग और अगर आप ये बोलते हो यू विल बी रिजेक्टेड, ऐसी वाली बात नहीं है. बट यार be real in the when he asked such questions ki why do you want to join army, told him even you have a very stupid answer, he will definitely impress कि हाँ यार दम वाली बात है. So again the next one is if you are not doing anything and you are sitting your home, so this will ruin your whole SSB. Like SSB is all about your maturity, and maturity comes with the responsibility. So start taking some responsibility in your day to day life, and it will change your not only SSB, it will change your whole life. Before 7 months I was the same thing. I was sitting at home enjoying सोने का कुछ टाइम नहीं था, उठने का टाइम नहीं था. बट देयर विल बी, अगर आपके साथ भी हैव द सेम थिंग, सो एक टाइम आता है जब मतलब हिट हो जाता है सब कुछ कि यार अब तो कुछ करना पड़ेगा. तो आई डिड द सेम थिंग. आई स्टार्टेड वेकअप 3:50. उठने को मैं 6 बजे उठ सकता था, बट थोड़ा आउट ऑफ कंफर्ट जोन उठना स्टार्ट किया. एंड एट दैट टाइम आई नॉट ओनली स्टडी कि मैंने पूरा दिन पढ़ा है. आई ओनली स्टडीड यूजुअली फॉर 2 hours. लेकिन जो सेटिस्फेक्शन वहां मेरे को मिला, डेट वाज टोटली डिफरेंट फॉर मी. I believe this particular thing also played a very important role in my interview. Again I will say the same thing. Starting में आपको इतना relevant नहीं लगेगा, but the day you got recommended, everything start making some sense. So if I talk about the whole interview, so ma'am, my approach was very simple. जो भी गलतियां हुई है just accept it, and whatever you are doing in day to day life, just give your best. He will judge you on the present performance. So this was all about my interview.
I will become fan of your quotes after some time, especially when this will be on YouTube. SSB is about maturity, and maturity comes with responsibility. You will have fans. Okay. Please move ahead with conference round.
Okay. This time, ma'am, my conference was, I didn't wait for my conference. It was very clear cut case. And even before the conference, I was damn sure. And in my group, I declared कि भाई कल मैं तो होने वाला हूँ recommend. तुम अपना देख लेना. In this way, I talked to my friends, and the reason was again very simple. I feel you will always knows कि what you have performed in the SSB. देखो, अगर मतलब झूठ बोलना is not गलत चीज नहीं है, लेकिन अब अगर आप अपने आप से झूठ बोलना स्टार्ट करते हो तो इट इज अ वेरी डेंजरस थिंग. कि आपने क्या किया है, तो यू विल डेफिनेटली गेट द फीलिंग कि होने वाला है नहीं होने वाला. सो कॉन्फ्रेंस में उन्होंने दे आस्क्ड वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चंस. हाउ वाज द फूड, एंड दे टोल्ड मी कि यार हाउ मच टाइम इट विल टेक टू रीच योर विलेज. So I told him, sir, it will take 7 hours. And he asked me, so what you will eat there when you reach your village tonight? So I told him, sir, I want to eat here at tonight, Kapurthala. So they were laughing, and after that they told me कि यार happy journey to your village. So I went out from the conference hall. So we were waiting for the result, and the assessor came, and he has only 7 chess numbers. So I was expecting कि यार 7 है तो आराम से हो जाएगा. But I got recommended. I was the single one who will able to make it on that particular day. बाकी के वो chess number लेके चले गए. So I feel very bad for my friends, but definitely they know ki what have they done wrong in their SSP. They will definitely learn and perform really well in the next SSP.
Hi Yogesh, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
अच्छा योगेश, मैंने कई सवाल पूछने हैं आपसे. आप ये बताओ योगेश, आपने अंग्रेजी कैसे सुधारी? दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अ लार्ज नंबर ऑफ एस्पिरेंट्स. हैं, शुरू से बताइए क्या क्या एफर्ट किए, योग्यता में क्या रोल रहा. बाकी खैर आपने शुरू से काफी एफर्ट किए होंगे, कमिंग फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट स्कूल, तो हमें पता है कि अंग्रेजी का हाल आपका ठीक ठाक नहीं रहा होगा. ये थोड़ा समझाइए.
Sir, even I got recommended in the Coast Guard, still my communication skills was not so okay. And later I got recommended, I realized कि यार बात बन गई है, और नेक्स्ट वाले एसएसबी में ये जो मैंने मिस्टेक की है उस पे मैं इम्प्रूव करूंगा. एंड द थिंग वाज कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. सो वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड टोल्ड मी कि यार जस्ट रीड द न्यूज़पेपर only for 2 months. Maybe you will not get the result for 1.5 months. So don't get lose your hope. But as you reach the second month, you will sharply get the fruitful results. So what I did, I just read an article in front of mirror in a very loud voice. So this is the major part I did. Along with, I participated in the NFA group, and I attended Yogita's ma'am English session. So these things really helped me, and I can if you just give your efforts only 2 months, you will definitely at least able to represent yourself in front of anyone.
अच्छा एक बात बताओ, जैसे अब मान लो आपने एडिटोरियल मैंने रेकमेंड किया कि प्रताप भानु मेहता का पढ़िए, अब वो आप पढ़ेंगे तो उस एडिटोरियल में एटलीस्ट 10 वर्ड के आपको मीनिंग नहीं पता होंगे, तो अब उसको लाउडली पढ़ लेने से क्या फायदा होगा? क्या क्या किया आपने, क्या किया था?
Definitely vocabulary plays an important role, but by reading in a loud voice it will improve your, अगर आप कहीं पे रुक जाते हो, stuck हो जाते हैं, it will remove this particular thing and it will improve your retention power कि आपने क्या पढ़ा है, and you will realize कि हाँ मैंने ये पढ़ा था, and speak in front of mirror again without the editorial. And when you feel you face the actual SSB, you will not take much time to frame the sentence in English. It will come to your mind automatically.
नहीं तो आप जैसे मान लीजिए मैंने एग्जांपल दिया कि आपको 10 वर्ड एडिटोरियल में पता नहीं चले, तो आपने उनका नोट करके मीनिंग शेयरिंग देखते थे, करते थे कुछ उसका, नहीं करते?
No sir, it was very hectic for me to note down each word. What I did, I followed a English book, and in which I learned almost 1,000 word. While preparing for written examination, I for vocabulary part I learned those words, and automatically again वो न्यूज़पेपर में वही normal word repeat and repeat. Okay, sir, I didn't read the Hindu, I read the local newspaper. Okay. And it helped me. They have very simple vocab.
Okay. तो अब WAT में जो थे 60 के 60 वर्ड का मीनिंग पता थे आपको?
No sir, I only attempted 52.
कितने, मतलब 8 के मीनिंग नहीं पता थे?
No sir, I don't know the meaning of 2. And except 6, I not able to make a sentence.
Okay. So one thing has stood out, Yogesh, कि आप बड़े frank रहे, आप बड़े open रहे. You are an open person by nature, and that has played a very good major role in you getting recommended, because you were able to establish a good connect with your group members as also the interviewing officers. सीधी सीधी बात करता है बंदा, ठीक ठाक है, जो कमियां हैं अगर है उनको इम्प्रूव करके ये बन जाएगी इसकी बात. So that's a very good thing. That's a very good outlook towards life also. अब ये बताओ, आपने जो था कोचिंग एकेडमी का भी एक्सपीरियंस लिया, अब कोचिंग एकेडमी का एक्सपीरियंस वीजा वी नो फ्रिल्स एकेडमी का आउटलुक, इसमें जो था डिफरेंसेस तो डेफिनेटली है ही हैं, तो उसका आपको क्या फायदा मिला और आपने उससे क्या फायदा उठा पाए, आप कोचिंग में जहाँ गए उससे?
In the coaching, I went for the GTO, but again I come to the conclusion, GTO is not about the Fattaballi. So there was practical experience ki you were making discussion among friends, very मतलब रियल में कर रहे हैं, but when it comes to the NFA, but it is somewhere virtual. But coming to the NFA, just like me, if you have very good communication skills, if you have done your justice with your academics, if you have fair idea, as you told in the a practical guide to become an army officer, if you have a good fair idea about everything, then there is no problem. But just like me, I was struggling in almost every issue. So it was not the game of only 12 days. Definitely, it took me some time to improve myself, to improve my personality. So the NFA group really motivated me. I learned from the guys, just like, sir, there was a Chirag Bhai, Sivanjay Bhai. So I learned from a lot from those guys. I, grasp some good points from their experience. So these things plays a very important role when you have the same environment, same like-minded people. You will definitely get the good results.
डांट पड़ती थी मेरे से, तेरे को नहीं पड़ी?
Sir, I talked to only twice. So I was asking कि sir मैं मतलब MSc कर लूँ क्या sir? And you told me कि यार तेरे को बेसिक्स तो आते नहीं फिजिक्स के, why are you wasting time? कुछ काम ही कर ले, कुछ पैसे कमा ले. So sir, I followed the same thing. I started doing some things. So I didn't take any admission for MSc. After that, I read your book and it was very clear कि just if you are good with the society, you are good with the SSB. There is no thing कि you have to do this in the SSB.
तो आप फिजिक्स के बेसिक क्लियर कर लिए हैं, अभी भी नहीं किए?
Yeah, no sir. The first, yes sir.
अच्छा, very good. Okay, fine. That is all I had to ask you, Yogesh. Thank you very much, and you have done yourself proud, your family proud, and we are all proud of you.